Welcome back to Cure Depression with Ray, where I teach you how to permanently cure your depression without using medication. If you're new to this channel and haven't seen this method before, please check out the other videos in this series. Link to the playlist in the description. To recap the overview of this method, we will be curing your depression by finding out who you really are at an existential level. And you have to know that answer to the level of you know that you know that you know. 100% know. First, we have to adopt some guiding principles. Then, we need to understand and develop your mind, which will be the main tool for this method. And finally, investigate who you really are at an existential level. Once you know who you really are, your whole perspective on life will change. Whatever happens or doesn't happen on the outside, you will always be good on the inside. Your depression will just disappear immediately. In this video, we will be discussing the fourth step in this method, which is the indirect method to find out who you really are at an existential level. There are a few key concepts that we covered in detail in the previous video, which is lesson number 4 on the direct method, which are worthwhile recapping here again. In this video, I'll just touch on the key points. For the details, please watch lesson number 4 again. The 4 key concepts are framing the question, self-help, conscious mind versus subconscious mind, and direct method versus indirect method. So for framing the question, do you exist? Are you 100% sure? This you that exists, what is it? What is its true nature? What is its essence? This is what we will focus on exploring. Remember, you have to know 100% to the level of you know that you know that you know. So me telling you the answer doesn't work, because to you it's just a story. You won't really know that way. Regarding self-help, this approach of me teaching you via a one-way video like this is a form of self-help. Self-help is difficult. You will make mistakes. You will be unsure whether you're doing it correctly. You will most likely require multiple attempts. So set your expectations right so that you don't give up. Always remember that the most likely causes of a failed attempt are either 1. You didn't follow the guiding principles properly, or 2. You didn't sharpen your mind sufficiently. Regarding the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind, when searching for the answers, there is a difference in style depending on the relative strength of your conscious mind versus your subconscious mind. If your conscious mind is stronger, then use pure logical reasoning to get the answer. If your subconscious mind is stronger, then listen to your intuition when it gives you the answer. If your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are equally strong, then use a combined style where if your intuition doesn't immediately give you an answer, then start with logical reasoning. Whenever you encounter any gaps in the logic chain caused by missing information, then use your intuition to skip to the next step. Regarding the direct method versus the indirect method. With the direct method, we use 5 clues to directly figure out what is the you that exists. The purpose of the 5 clues is to shift your perspective to a point of view that most people don't take in their daily lives. With the indirect method, we list out all the different layers of a human being and then investigate each layer one by one, whether that layer could be the you that exists. This is a process of elimination. Both methods are complementary. Most people will have to use both. We have already covered the direct method in the previous video, lesson number 4. This video will focus on the indirect method. Moving on to the guiding principles of our method. I really need to re-emphasize the importance of adhering to the guiding principles. Number 1. Throw away all preconceptions and assumptions that underpin what you think you know. Number 2. Be honest with yourself whether you know something or you don't know something. Number 3. Don't believe or disbelieve whenever you come across any new information. Investigate it objectively. You must tightly hold on to these guiding principles. Most of your mistakes will be caused by not properly following these guiding principles. Now let's dive into the indirect method. The question to focus on is, what is the you that exists? Start with what you currently know. You are currently here as a human being. Right now, you don't know anything about before you were this human being or what happens after. So focus on the now. The you that exists must be one part of this human being. We will start by listing out all the different layers or components of a human being. Then, investigate each layer one by one, whether that layer can be the you that exists. Use a process of elimination to rule out the possibilities one by one and see what's left at the end. We will start with what you know you have for sure as a human being. Here are the layers that I propose you have. Ask yourself whether you're sure you have each of these. Don't just blindly believe me. Number 1, a physical body. Number 2, a mind. Number 3, emotions. Number 4, energy. Anything else? Add to that list if you can think of any. Now it's time to investigate. To start the investigation, pick any one layer. Doesn't matter which one. We'll have to go through all of them anyway, so the order doesn't really matter. Start by asking yourself, is this layer the me that exists? For example, is my physical body the me that exists? From here, you can take various main paths to proceed with the investigation. Each main path might have various sub-paths. Recall what we discussed in lesson number 1. This investigation is like climbing a mountain. The paths that are available and viable for you are limited by your capabilities, life experiences, and knowledge. Other people may be able to take certain paths that you are unable to at this present moment. Don't worry about that. Just focus on what you can do right now. Here are some examples of main paths and sub-paths. This list is not exhaustive. There are many other possible main paths and sub-paths that you could take. Main path number 1. If I drop this layer, even temporarily, but yet I still exist, then this layer cannot be the me that exists. The sub-paths for this particular main path would be specific scenarios where this layer is not there, yet I still exist. The second main path would be somehow gain a realization about one aspect of the me that exists. One sub-path here would be, at different points in my life, if I asked myself the question, do I exist? I would have answered yes. I realized that during each of those moments, the me that exists is exactly the same. It is unchanging. Therefore, if a particular layer changes over time, then it cannot be the me that exists. A second sub-path would be, in my experience, layer X is distinctly separate from me. I directly experience layer X with all its sensations and outputs. Since I am separate from layer X cannot be the me that exists. Another sub-path would be, I realize that what is me and what is mine cannot be the same. Therefore, if layer X is mine, then layer X cannot be the me that exists. There are many other main paths and sub-paths that you could think of, limited only by your creativity. Keep in mind that not all paths will be usable by you. For example, if you don't have the realization about the unchanging nature of your existence, then you can't use that path. Even if I tell you about that path now, it's just a story to you, until you truly realize it yourself. If you don't truly know, you can't use it. Remember guiding principle number 2. Knowing something can be based on first-hand knowledge, second-hand knowledge, or third-hand knowledge. First-hand knowledge is direct personal experience. Second-hand knowledge is learning from another person who has personal direct experience. Third-hand knowledge will be learning from someone who has learned from someone who has direct personal experience. The further you get from direct personal experience, the more verifications you need to do, and the more data points you require. Now, I'll take you through an example investigation for each of the 4 layers that we identified earlier. The guiding principles are so important that I will pin it here for you to constantly refer to. For those with deep depression, I suggest starting with emotions first, because one symptom of depression is losing the ability to feel emotions. You just feel numb and empty inside, like a robot. In this situation, you've lost your emotions. But do you still exist? If you still exist, can the you that exists be your emotions? Definitely not. Alternatively, consider the reality that your emotions fluctuate over time. There must surely have been some moments in your lifetime when you were not experiencing any particular emotions. Did your existence disappear during those brief moments? No. So, can the you that exists be your emotions? Next, are you your body? Think about situations where you don't have your physical body with you, yet you still exist. For example, when you're experiencing a dream. You're in the dream, but is your physical body with you in the dream? You might have a body within that dream that looks like your physical body, but has your actual physical body come together with you in that dream? When you're experiencing the dream, do you exist? Is the you that exists still there with you? If the answer is yes, then can your physical body be the you that exists? This investigation approach can also be applied using scenarios involving someone else. Are you your mind? This one is much tougher because as humans, we tend to become very associated with our minds. The simplest but most time-consuming way to find the answer is to practice meditation. Refer back to lesson number 3, where I taught you how to sharpen your mind using meditation. With meditation, once you reach the state where your mind is completely silent and still, and yet the you that exists is still there, then you know by direct experience that you are not your mind. Another way to investigate is to reflect on the process of thinking. Your mind produces thoughts. You perceive and interact with those thoughts. Then your mind produces further follow-up thoughts, and the cycle repeats. From this process review, we can see that there is a separate and distinct you that is experiencing your mind and the thoughts that it produces. So, can your mind be the you that exists? Next investigation. Are you your energy? Where do humans get their energy from? From eating and consuming other life forms. The source is external. So, can the you that exists be your energy? Alternatively, when you were a child, were you much more energetic than you are now as an adult? Nowadays, most of you would have much lower levels of energy. But has your existence now reduced compared to when you were younger? So, can your energy be the you that exists? Those were just a few examples. If you're using this method all by yourself as a form of self-help, most likely you will fail your first few initial attempts. I want to go over what you should do whenever you fail an attempt. First, don't be discouraged. It is difficult. But isn't permanently curing your depression without using medication worthwhile? Anything truly worthwhile requires great effort. Second, reflect and review your failed attempt step by step to identify the cause of the failure. Was it because you didn't properly adhere to the guiding principles? Then review the guiding principles again. Or was it because your mind wasn't sharp enough? Then use the practices that I taught you in lesson number 3 to sharpen your mind. If it's not either of those two reasons, then it could be that you simply don't have enough life experiences or knowledge that you can use as potential paths to investigate each layer. If that's the case, then you need to go seek out more life experiences and knowledge. Third step, make another attempt. It's okay if again you don't succeed at your next attempt. As long as you're making some progress each attempt, then you're getting one step closer to curing your depression. Let's say you reach the conclusion that you are not any of the 4 layers that we identified. You have concluded that you are not your physical body, you are not your mind, you are not your emotions, and you are not your energy. And you can't think of any other layers that you could be. You take the current you as a human being and subtract all those layers, and there's nothing left. Then what should you do? Your next steps should be: number 1, review the first guiding principle. Throw away all preconceptions and assumptions. That's the key to proceeding from this stage. Step number 2, review the 5 clues in the direct method and make another attempt using the direct method. So what does success look like? How do you know when you have succeeded? First of all, your depression will immediately vanish. Poof, just like that. And from that moment on, whatever happens or doesn't happen to you externally, you will always feel good inside. I'll share my personal experience of the moment that I succeeded and found the answer. I just burst out in laughter uncontrollably. Finally, once you know who you are, try thinking about who I am. To summarize this video, first, we did a recap of key concepts. Number 1, framing the question. Do you exist? What is this you that exists? Number 2, self-help. Number 3, conscious mind versus subconscious mind. Number 4, direct method versus indirect method. And number 5, the guiding principles. Next, we covered the theory of using the indirect method. Then, I gave you examples of using the indirect method. Fourth, we discussed the next steps to take after a failed attempt. And finally, we covered how to know when you have succeeded. In the next video, I will put together all the different components of my method to cure depression and show you how to use it as a whole system. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.